Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's session, we'll learn about Jenkins, its installation, setup, its configurations, its plugins, all about it. And we'll learn about the pipeline, then we'll learn about the parameters. We'll learn about a lot of things. So follow till end, okay? Now, first thing we'll do is to install Jenkins in a Ubuntu server. So for that, let's come to this screen. For this as a cloud service provider, we'll be using AWS. So if you log in into AWS server, this is the screen you will see, and you have to install the Jenkins server in a EC2 machine. So let's go to EC2. Okay. Now we should click on the launch instance, and we will be using the latest Ubuntu image available to us. So you can see 20.04. Select that one. So let's see about the requirement we have. So for prerequisites, we need at least 256 MB of RAM and 1 GB of the hard drive space. So we'll go with a better one. So we'll have 1 GB and 1 CPU. That should be enough. Let's go review and launch. In the security groups, we should allow port 8080 because that's the default Jenkins server running port. But you can change it if you want to. That's up to you. Now enable that, otherwise we'll be not able to access that from the outside of the from the browser. We'll not able to access it. That's why you need to add it. Okay, you're good to go. Now launch. Now here, if you don't have a key, you can simply click on create new key pair and enter the name, then download that. You can use the downloaded file to access this machine. Now I already have existing key. I'll be using that only. So I have AWS DevOps. So I acknowledge that I have this selected file, launch instance, and it will take few seconds for the machine to set up. Just click on here, and let's name it Jenkins master node. Okay, let's save it. So it's preparing, and while it's happening, let's understand what are the how to install the Jenkins in Ubuntu. So this have two release cycle. One is a long-term release, that's like it's highly supported for long term, and one is weekly, that is keep changing in the weekly basis. So if it's a production, I will say go with the long-term support. If it's weekly, with development and all, you want always the latest, then go for the weekly. But before all that, you should have install the Java. So make sure you install the Java. Okay. So let's see, it's set up or not. It's running. If you click on connect, just right click on it and you will see the connect option. You connect, and there is a multiple ways to connect with the machine. For like EC2 instance connect, on the browser, session manager, the SSH client. This is the SSH login code. So let's run that. This SSH login into that EC2 instance. Let's clear the screen. Now first thing we should install is the Java, because Java is a mandatory to run the Jenkins project. Okay, so let's update the libraries first, then search the OpenJDK. This is complete. Now okay, now install the OpenJDK. Done, is installed. Just confirm the installation. If you just run it, it will say already installed, and it's already installed. You can see the version also here. Now additionally, you can check the version like this. So it's installed and it's working. Now we should go for the Jenkins installation. Add the package. Now update the packages. Now let's install Jenkins. And within few seconds, Jenkins will be installed. Okay, Jenkins now installed. We can check the Jenkins running or not. So for that, we can run sudo service Jenkins status and see it's active. Okay, now let's come back to here, and we can come to the instance. We can see the public IP of the instance, and let's try to load that in our browser. Okay, so you'll see this screen will come if you come to the browser, and you can see the option here, unlock Jenkins. Because to ensure Jenkins is securely set up by administrator and password has been written in the log, so we have to copy the password and paste it here so we can proceed further. Let's check it. That, so we have to use sudo, and this is the password. Enter it, continue, don't save it. Now you have two options to customize Jenkins. You can install the cicd plugins, or you can select and whatever plugin you need and go on. I will suggest that go with the cicd plugins. It will be very useful. Now the default Jenkins plugins getting installed. Let's wait for the installation to complete. Okay. Now it's asking to enter you the username, password, and confirm password, name, and email address. So you can create the administrative user. Okay. Now enter the name. Let's call it Sandeep. Password will be any password that you want to set. Full name, email, contacts, and that's in. Now save and continue. Remember that username and password. This is the URL that you are currently accessing in the browser itself. This is the Jenkins URL. Suppose you have a custom domain, you can also set that here if you already set it up. Okay, so now save and finish. It's done. Start using Jenkins. Click on that, and you have the Jenkins started. Now, if you are first to Jenkins, you will see these menus here. I will explain one by one what are those and how you can customize it further. Okay, so first is your new items. If you click on new item, it will ask you to create a new project, freestyle project, pipeline, multi-configuration, folder, GitHub organization, multi-branch pipeline. And we'll be coming to that later on. But think about if you want to do something with Jenkins, do some projects, do some builds, then you have to select from these options. Okay, we'll be coming there shortly. Now let's go to build history. Here, whatever build you run, you can see all the build histories here. Manage Jenkins. Now this part is big. Okay, so we'll be covering all the options. So first option is the configure system. So all the system related configuration via this option. Now there is global tool configuration. If you come here, you can configure the tools or build tools like JDK, Git, Maven configuration, Gradle configuration, and Maven. This kind of configuration you can do via this screen. Let's go back to the dashboard and go to manage Jenkins. Then you see the manage plugins. In the manage plugins, you can see the installed plugins. Just like we at the beginning of the screen, we have installed default plugins, right? All these plugins are already here. You can see it here, all the plugins. And in the updates, you can see what are the updates available for a particular plugin. In the available, you can see what are the available plugins there, which you can install and set up in a install in this Jenkins server. Okay, you can install all that. I will be showing you anyway, so don't worry, we'll be covering that. And in the advanced section, you can see you can upload a custom plugin. So you can see it here. If you have file that is .hpi, that means there's a Jenkins plugin file. You can upload the file and you can import in this system. Okay, and this is the proxy configuration. Like if you want to access Indian by proxy, you can utilize that one. Let's come back to the manage Jenkins. Here you will see security options. Security like configure global security, manage credentials, like global security. Let's come to that place. Okay, you can see authentication. If you want to improve more security, you want to remove the disable remember me option, you can do that. You can see the security realm, how to allow sign up, all those kind of cases. Authorization, like logged in user can do anything, allow anonymous read user to like read access, all this configuration, or anyone can do anything kind of option, which is not recommended. But if you want to try it out, you can do. Markup format, it's plain text. You can make it save HTML, so you can format the screen options and all everything in a HTML. Right now all plain text, but you can do in a HTML way, like H1 tag and or body tag, all those kind of tags are there, like strong tag. You can use those kind of HTML tags, but in a save mode. API token, you can see enable API token user statistics, agent controller, SSH server, everything is there. Let's go back to the dashboard again and click on the manage Jenkins. We have checked the configure global security. Now there is manage credential. If you want to add additional credentials, you can add it here. Okay. Now let's go to manage Jenkins again, and you can see configure credential provider, manage users, like adding and removing users. You can do that here. Like see, create user. You can add. Click on the create user and add new user here. You can do that. System information, you can see system related information here, like system information, what is the current system you are running, all the information you will see it, all the plugins you have installed, you'll find it here. Let's go back. You can see system logs, so all the system related logs you'll find it here. Okay, it is good when you are facing problem and you want to debug. For those cases it's good. Load statistics, the current server load, you will see it here. About Jenkins, you want to see the version and everything else, you can see it here, all the versions and everything. Okay, now we have talked enough about all this. Now let's go into action. Now if you click on the new item, you will see these are the projects option you can create. We'll start with the freestyle project. Now what is freestyle project? This is an central feature of Jenkins. Jenkins will build your project, combine any SCM with any build system, and this can be even used for something other than software build. So you can do anything with this freestyle. Freestyle means you are free to do whatever you want. So let's give it a name, freestyle sample project, and click on the freestyle and click on OK. Once you do that, see, you have a lot of options. Okay, we'll go explain one by one. First is the general, like any description, say this is a freestyle project, and if you want to like discard the old data, if anyone, like suppose any build you're making and you want to discard the old data, for that you can option enable this one. If it's a GitHub project, you can give the project URL here. Okay, you can just, any doubt in your mind, you can click on this, like help, it's all about it. So enter the URL of the GitHub hosted project without the tree master or a tree branch part, like this, and you can add it here. So will be not, it's a freestyle, so we'll be not entering anything like that. It will require lockable resources. So again, if you are not sure about what it is, you can see this is the parameters. Okay, now if you want additional environment variables, like here you call it parameters, you can enable this one and you can add the parameters. I'll show, don't worry. Throttle builds, suppose you want to, like everyone making changes and it's like auto configured and making builds. Suppose 100 people making builds, and then it will like start 100 builds. If you want to make restrict, then one build at a time or maybe two build in a particular second, like in an interval, you can do that here. Okay, now disable, if you want to disable, you can do that. Execute concurrent builds if necessary, you can enable this option. The source code management, like where is the source code? With source code you are going to do something, right? That's all about it. So you can select Git. If you select Git, then you have to give the repository URL here. Okay, if it's private, then you need to give credential. If it's public, then you don't need to give the credential. Okay, will be coming all there, no problem. Build triggers, so how you want to trigger this build? You can trigger build remotely. For that you have to provide the like authentication token and all. If you want to build after other projects are built, then you have to give other project name. That project when build done, it will start automatically, like dependent build kind of thing. Build periodically, so build periodically, what it does is it will allow you to enable enter the cron expression. Now what are the cron expression? If you go to cron guru, okay, let's say every 5 minutes you want to make this build every 5 minutes. Okay, you can enable the syntax, copy from here and you can paste it here, so it will run, you can see it here, it will run every 5 minutes. Similarly, how you want to run it, if you want to like run it, see this is minute, second start is hour, third start is the day, fourth one is a month, and the final one is the week. So how frequent you want to make the build, you can do it via this build periodically option automatically. Now, like if you want to make the build by some GitHub hook, you can select this option like GitHub hooks trigger for git cm polling. Okay, just we're not sure if Jenkins will receive a push GitHub hook from the repo defined in a git scm section. This is the one. Okay, it will trigger the git scm polling logic. So polling logic in fact belong to the git scm. Okay, you can do that. Poll SCM. So what is poll SCM? Poll SCM is, suppose you have made some code changes in your repo, and if you enable the poll SCM and give it like it will run and check periodically if there is change in the repository. If any change happen, it will start the build automatically. That's why it's poll SCM. Okay. Okay. Now build environment. So you can enable this option if you would like to, like delete the workspace before build. So every time you press build starting, the workspace will take. If you enable this option, use secret text or file. If you enable this on, it will give you the option to upload the files, so that every time when a build start, it will ask you for the text or file. Okay. About the build, if it's stuck, you can enable the option add timestamp to the console output. Inspect below build log for published Gradle build scans with and if you want to build with and. Okay, you can see it up here. Prepare an environment for Jenkins to run builds using Apache Ant. Okay, now we are done with that. Now build. Now the build part is, if you can see, build triggers happen, and now the build environment is done. See all the tabs here, like general, this is the general part. The source code, this is all about source code. The build triggers, like how you want to trigger the build. Build environment is how you want your build environment to configure. Now this is the build section. Okay, where you actually make the build. That is what happened here. You are making the build happen. Now what you can do, you can execute Windows batch command, you can execute shell, invoke Gradle script, invoke top level Maven targets, run without timeout, set build status pending on GitHub commit. That all the action you can do. For simplicity, we will start with our hello world. I think everyone is very well about any first program we will do is with hello world. So let's do run a hello world. So echo, like any normal script command, you are running echo hello world. Hello world. Okay. Once you do it, now post build action. What are the post build action you have available? You can aggregate downstream the test result, archive the artifact, build the other projects, publish unit test result report, record fingerprint of files to track usage, git publisher, email notification if you want to send the email, enable editable email notification if you want to edit the content what you're going to send, you can do that. Set GitHub commit status, set build status on git commit, delete workspace when the build is done. So like a cleanup job. Now we'll be not doing anything at this stage. Let's run the project first and then we will do it. So save it and let's build now. You can see the build here, and since it's nothing much, so you can see the build log. You can see console output hello world. Right now I'm just create a hello world log and all. Now we're going to make this project a bit more advanced, so let's do that. Go to dashboard, and this is the project. You can see it here, and you can see the last build duration, how much it is, and last build was success. You can see the like console output and everything here. Now enter the project, and we are going to make things a little more interesting. How? So we are gonna configure this one. First thing, gonna try it. We are going to have a parameterized. So we want to accept the parameter from the project. Let's do that. So you can click on this, and it's asking for adding parameter. Now what are the parameters available? Boolean parameter available, choice parameter available, credential parameter available, file parameter available, multi-line string parameter is available, run parameter and string parameter. Okay, so first thing we're going to try is the string parameter, and the name what you give it here, that exact name will be available as a environment variable in the build. Okay, so let's call it let's say project name. Okay, just give it project name. I'm saying giving project name, we can give it like demo project. Okay, now we are calling it, the project name is demo project, just for example. Okay, just for example, we are giving it, and let's save it. Now if we go now, before saving, actually you should make one more change. Here we are echoing hello world, so we can just echo like echo project name is then the environment variable name. Okay, so again the parameter name is project name, right? So you can come here and like this we can see the project name. Now just simply build. Now you see the build is changed to build with parameters. That is very important. Okay, so click on build with parameters. You can see its default value is here. We can make it change. Now let's try to make the build without making any change, and then we will make a change and we'll see. Now click on build. See the build 2, you can click on that, and in the console output you'll see echo project name is build demo project, right? Echo project demo project. Now again let's go back to the project and build with parameter. Let's say new project, build it. Now let's come back to the next. See the build is done. Click on 3 and click on the console output. See the project name is new projects. So that's how it happened. Now the project, the parameter work. Now what if we make a simple change, instead of parameter, I mean the string parameter, we use something else. So let's do that. Click on configure, and this time we want to add additionally a new parameter call. See there are multiple options you can have. We are going to with the file parameter. Okay, so file location, where you like, where you want to store the file, you can just say not that needed, say sample.txt, and that's it. Now you want to cat sample.txt and see what happens. Okay, now I think that's it. That is the file location we are printing. Just run it, save it, and then build with parameter. Now they will ask you for a sample.txt file, isn't it? So choose the file, and it's in our project. Go deploy demo, and it's sample file, sample.txt. Okay, build. See the build is now done. Build 4, and you can click on the console output. See, cat, this is a sample build, isn't it? Now the build is success. So that how easily you can import a file, you can utilize the file. Okay, let's go back to the project. I think we are done with this and exploring the sample project. You can see the configuration part. Now let's make it a bit more better. How? We are going to make one more change. How? What I'm going to do? We are going to utilize the git. Now let's remove the parameter. We don't need the parameter anymore. So let's remove it, and we are going to utilize the remote repository. Okay, you can see git source code management. It's the git is here, and credential we don't need. So come here, and we are going to do is we are going to know what was our repo. So let's run a new command line. Let's make it big. Go to code deploy demo. That is a project we are utilizing every time. Just we have to run git remote -v, and will give you the remote URL. Now for GitHub part, where this is a public repo where you have this project and all the codes, we are going to utilize this one. So you can here, you can just copy it inside the project. Okay, so of course authentication not required. Now you can see it here, branches to build. You can select which branch to build. So right now in master, if you have any sub branch or for any branch, you can give any. It's up to you. Repository browser, you can see what are the repositories you have available. Okay, in free, that is automatically we have this. Additional behavior, if you would like to add, you can add it here. Okay, like say advanced clone behavior, build a single version only, calculate change log against the specific branch, check out a subdirectory. You can do all that kind of thing, like clean after checkout, custom SCM name. You can do all this kind of thing here. Now the build trigger. Now what if poll SCM, and it will check for a new change, and after the change happen, it's going to automatically automatically start the build. So to do that, let's come to the cron manager. So it's cron j, and we want to be minute, say each. If we do that every minute, okay, so with every minute it will keep for checking. Okay, now come to here, and we are just pasting that. So every minute, you can see, do you really mean every minute? Yes, we want to check. It will keep checking every minute, and once it does, we are going to check like what change you are doing. I have a index, that is, we have a file here called index.js. So for that, I'm just making simple change. Okay, and let's push that change first. Make sure we have that. Okay, it's already updated. Now we'll make a change there and see that change is reflecting here or not. So project name is, we don't need that. Now just, it's like any shell script command, we are just running a shell script command to check what is the file content we have that in that index.js file. Okay, so echo checking below what content we have in index.js. Okay, so let's do that. Cat index.js. Okay, now solve that. Now save it. Now see, last build is 4, right? And since no change is done yet, so nothing. But as soon as I make change, since the project itself is like the SCM engines keep polling, the source control manager is keep polling and polling. If I make any changes within 1 minute, it will come here and it will start the build automatically. So keep remember that the build number is 4. Okay, now let's come here, clear it, and we are going to make this cicd app version 2. Once we do it, and let's push the change, and let's call it version 2 changes. Since we have made the change, let's push the change to GitHub repo. Okay, change is now pushed, and let's come here and see. You can see as soon as we push the change, it became version 5, isn't it? Let's click on that and see. You can see the revision also here started by the SCM change. So as soon as we made the change, it detected, since we're running each second, right, each minute. So if we come to the console, no, it was like it's the first build, so it just should be another one. You can see build 6, that is what it is. So you can see version 2 changes, commit log, and if you go to the console output, you will see version 2. Now it works, isn't it? So that's how we can make change, and it can be automatically polling and on and it's pulling it. But this scheme is not recommended. It keep polling and polling and polling, which is not a right thing to do. There are some rate limitation and all. So instead of that, what we should do, we are going to use the webhooks. So let us learn how to configure the webhooks. Go to dashboard. Now, since we have seen how the polling works via the source control manager using Git source control manager, it is checking if something have changed in the Git repo, then is making the new build. Now, what if it will not keep checking? Instead, that there will be a webhook which will let know the build server, the Jenkins server, something have changed, and then only the project should start the build. We should go for that. To do that, we have to make some changes in the configuration. So go to manage Jenkins and then click on the configure system. Go down. So after going down, you will see the option GitHub server, add GitHub server. Click on that. Give the name like uh, let's say GitHub Webhook. Okay. Now API will be the same thing. See in the credential is asking to add the credential. See, click on this icon. You will see you can create your own personal access token in your account in GitHub. So click on that. Open a new tab. And what access you need to add? You can check it here. Admin repo hook. So this one. Admin repo. Then you can just simply look for that actually. This one and repo. Actually, already give the access. Repo status. So given all the repo actually, all the access. And if we go to come here, I think that is all we have needed. As called Jenkins access. Okay, and then create the token and copy it. If you forget to copy it, then you will see it will not work. Okay, because after that it will change and you will not know that what was the code. So copy it, make sure copy it, and then click on add credential just here, and instead of username with password, go for secret text, and there you'll have secret. Paste the secret text here and then add it, and then in the just drop down, select the secret text and paste the connection. Okay, you can see credential verified for the user, that is my username. Red limit is 5,000, around 4,900 is 5,000 anyway. And you can see this option, you must tick on that, manage hooks. So now we have added the credential and selected that, and we have tested the connection as well. Now let's save it. Okay, now let's edit this project so we can test it out, our change is working or not. Last build was 6. Now go to click on configure, and there you see the option very down. You can see GitHub hook trigger for git sm polling. Select that one and then save it. Okay, so that is done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come this part, and you can say just it's a version 2, let's say it's version 3 just for example, and then let's push the changes. Let's say version 3 changes and push the change. Okay, and wait for a few seconds, and let's come here. See, last was 6, and see as soon as it pushed, I can see the build 7 started, and that's very important. Without any manual integration, without any polling, we have achieved this. And if you click on the build 7, you can see version 3 changes, that the commit we did. And if you go to console output and see is version 3, so our automatic integration work now it's happening by the webhook. It's that's easy to configure. I hope you understand now. Now let's come back to dashboard. I have shown you the freestyle project and the automatic git integration using webhook, everything. Now this is a very simple integration. Now we are going to come to the main part, that is actual use case for our, I mean previously also very good use case, but this time it is the actual build pipeline. Let's create a pipeline using the project. Okay, so again click on new item and then enter the project name. Let's call it cicd pipeline demo. Okay, and this time we're going to use pipeline. What's calling pipeline? So see, pipeline orchestrate long running activities that can span multiple build agents suitable for building pipelines, formerly known as workflows, and for organizing complex activities that do not basically fit in freestyle job type. Okay, now click on OK, and this is the screen. So we can call it CI CD pipeline demo. Okay, and you can see all the options here. Do not and all that source. So we can call it a GitHub project, and we can give the project URL here itself. Okay, actually you don't need to. We can just give the project URL in the pipeline also. I will show you how. So go down the build triggers. For the build trigger, we'll be using the webhook that we have already integrated. That GitHub hook trigger from Git SCM. And if we come down, you can see the pipeline here. I think then we should add the GitHub project also. So let's enter that. Since we are giving only the project have to listen on a particular GitHub project, right? So git remote -v. So, and this is the URL for the Git. Let's give it here. Now come down, pipeline script. Now this is the important, that is the main section here. You have two ways to supply the pipeline. I mean, we can instruct the Jenkins to run as a pipeline. Okay, one is the pipeline script, and second one is pipeline from the SCM, that is source control manager, which ultimately means our project. Okay, so there is two options. So the first option, we will be first experimenting with the first option, and then we will gradually move to the second option. Okay, so pipeline script. Now how this scripting look like? Okay, if you click on this one, try sample pipeline, there is three example. Hello world, there is three option: hello world, GitHub, Maven, and scripted pipeline. Okay, so click on that. You can see this one, pipeline, and then this syntax, hello world. This is the pipeline basic syntax. And another one is scripted one. See, note. Now there is this is called two types of pipeline here. Okay, we can call it, one is declarative pipeline, one is that is like more descriptive, and what is the scripted pipeline that just I'm showing at the moment. So how to identify? If you see the pipeline at the beginning, that is a declarative, and if you see this is coding, scripted, this is node word, then it's scripted. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, first we will cover the declarative pipeline. So here you can see the pipeline, and we need the agent. So agent is any, so it can run any agent. Stages we are saying stage hello, but stages should be how it look like the source stage, build stage, dev stage, could be any stage. Okay, so it's up to you. Now stages step. Now how to generate a syntax? Let's first run this one, and then we'll modify this project. Okay, so it's a basic pipeline project, you can say. First save it, and let's run this. You can see build now, run it. Okay, you can see the build is running in here. Okay, and you can see the build entire flow also, build stages. Okay, and you can click on the logs. See hello world, that's printed. You can come to the here also. See console output. You can see the logs here also. Hello world, finish. Okay, now let's make it a bit more complicated. Okay, to do that, first let's come back to the project, and you're going to make it a bit complicated. So click on configure, and then, like, you as a beginner, we don't know about exact what syntax to use. To know what to do and how to do, let's use the pipeline syntax. It just open once you click on it, this pipeline syntax, it will open a new tab for you, so that you can generate the steps as you like. I'll show. So let's do something about it. So git, see repository URL. We want to do the cloning part. So we have this repository URL here. Let's copy, and then we can say come to here, give the URL, and you can see credential. We don't need it because it's a public repo, but if it's a private, you can add the credentials just like you added for a hook. Similar way, you can use do it the username password, and you can have it as a credential in this place. Okay. Now generate the pipeline script, and it will generate the pipeline script for us. See, so copy it and come here. So instead of hello, you can call it source. Okay, and then in the step, we can add this step. See, so basic unit is their steps, and the formatting is like first will be pipeline. This is a pipeline, and it's declarative syntax. Pipeline will have stages. First, we will mention the agent, then we are mentioning the stages. In the stages, there will be multiple stages, like normally happen. You have source, you have build, and then you have deployment. Similar way. Okay, now since we have added the source, we are going to just check the content of this source as well. So how to do that? So let's echo index.js file content. Okay, and let's run. Now how to run the shell scripting using this pipeline? So again, if you don't know about how to do it, come to this. Like if you just click on this one, we'll come to this screen, and this is the syntax generator one. So we'll look for shell scripting. Okay, like this, and we want to see the content of the file. You can just put all the scripting here, and whatever you want to run here. We are just we are just showing what content the index.js file will have. So that's it, and click on generate pipeline script, and it will give you like this sh cat index.js. Okay, let's add it here, and let's save it, and then build it. You'll find the build. Okay, here, and see build. Now click on the console output, and you will see the index.js file cicd version 3. Now since we have added we already had the webhook, see if that working fine or not. So come to the pipeline demo. Is now right now 4, and now let's run say version 4 or say version 5, just for example. Now push the changes, git add, git commit, then call it version 5 changes, git push upstream. Since I have added the git as upstream, but for you might be just the origin. Think about that. Might be for you might be it's just git push origin. For me it's upstream. Okay, since I've added as upstream, but it should not matter to you. Now let's come here and you see it's starting. Okay, it started automatically. See pending version the 5 build, and you can see finished waiting. Okay, it's done. If you click on that build, you will see version 5. So our automatic CI/CD integration working. Now it's a simple one. Let's try to make a real Node.js application, and you'll see how that works. Okay, isn't it? So let's install the Node.js first. So for that you need install plugin. Again, see we talked at the very beginning about installing plugins. So go to manage Jenkins, and you can see there manage plugins, and come here in this place called available. Here we'll look for the available plugins, and you'll search for Node.js. Okay, see Node.js, have it, install without restart, or we restart as you want, and it will install pretty quick. It's done. Now come to the manage Jenkins, then configure global tools configuration, and if you go down and down you'll see Node.js. Let's add Node.js. You can see, let's call it Node 16. Okay, and you'll see it will install automatically. You don't have to think about anything else. Now I am doing Node 16, but you can select the version as you like. Okay, all versions there. and let's save it, and let's come back to the projects dashboard. You'll see cicd pipeline demo, and there we'll configure to use Node.js first. So we have added node plugin, right? Now we can add a stage called build stage. Okay, so let's do that again, and we call it build, and here it will be step will be npm installation sh npm, like look now you don't know how to generate, right? Simply come here, and you can just go to select the sh and run npm install. You will see the code will generate and is the same here. Okay, but if we try to run it, it will fail, of course, because it doesn't have the node.js library included here, right? So for that we have to define like this: tools, then node.js, and then the version of the node, that the name we have defined there. So for this case, if we come here in the dashboard, just for the confirmation, manage Jenkins, configure tools, global tool configuration, go down and click on that node 16, that will be here. Okay, let's try to do that. Let's try to do that. Now save it. Okay, and then let's start build now. You can see build is running here. You can see progress here also, and it succeeded. Now if we go to 12 and click on the console output, you will see the dependencies are installed. Okay, it's up to date, viability and all that. You can see that this is working all good, right? Now the important part here is that in the build we have added the build configuration properly. That's why, again, if you're not sure about how to do it, you can come to this screen, and always you can generate what you want to do. You can just generate with here. Okay, now we have covered the CI/CD part, like automatically integration and all. Now we have done till the build. Now you want the final directory or the final output to somewhere you want to move, or maybe you have saved the artifact. So let's do that. Now to do that, you can always check here. See, archive artifact, files to archive star. Okay, that means all files. Save it here like this and save it. Now let's build again. This is running, and it's success this time. Okay, I hope you understand the entire CI/CD flow. Now here I'm saving in as an artifact. You might want to pass it to other, or maybe you want to do the deployment step here. It's all up to you. Okay, and we covered all. So we have learned how to utilize the pipeline properly, like source, then build, and saving the artifact. Now we will learn how to utilize the environment variables. Okay, that's very important, because sometimes you want to define variables using environment variable, and you want to access it here. So to do that, you can come here and type environment, and then this is syntax, and let's say node env. For us node.js developer, we sometimes mention that node.js environment, right? Now node env, let's say production. Okay, and we want to show this before the build start. So here let's echo build node environment. Okay, save it and build. Now you can see build started. It will come here. Okay, and it's working. Done. If you come here and click on console output, you will see just before the build npm install command, it's there, production. So we have defined as a production. Now the way I have defined this environment variable, it's a global environment variable. Now how to define as a local scope? Now the scope is in this stage, say build stage. So in build stage, let's define environment variable here. Okay, so let's declare it, and then curly braces, and then mention the node env as staging. Let's see. save it, and let's build now. See, build is running. Click on it. If you see the console output, go down. You see build is staging because the inner scope is getting preference and is overriding the global scope. Okay, so make sure to note that part. So now we have learned how to use the global environment variable and how to use the local environment variables. Now let's learn about how to utilize the credential like secret text. What you cannot be logged or you should not able. No one should be able to see in the logs. Okay, we will be doing that. So to do that, come to dashboard and then click on manage Jenkins and then click on manage credentials. Click on global credentials. Okay, see global credentials and then click on add credentials. Now you can, there are multiple way you can add the credential like username with password, GitHub app, SSH username with private key, secret file, secret text, certificate. Okay, now from here, let's for example say we are going to store a secret text. Okay, how to do that? To do that, we can utilize the secret text, and as soon as you like that, let's say the secret, say this is a, just say uh, some text. Okay, this is a secret text, should not be seen, something like that. Okay, I've done that, so no one will be able to see it. Do it. Okay, and in the description we need to give a name, so let's call it secret variable. Okay, click on OK. So we have stored that secret variable now, and let's go back to the dashboard and there go to our project and click on configure. So here we want, before the build step start, we just after the node env, just we did the echo. There we want to have the this we want to echo the environment variable, or maybe for your case you want to utilize some other way. It's up to you. So how to do that? So again, if you click on this pipeline syntax, it will come to here in this place, and then you can simply select you can go for the with credential. See, with credentials, bind credential variables, click on that, and in the secret text, okay, variable section, select secret text. Let's reload it. Maybe it's not reloaded yet, that's why it's not updated. So reload it, and then we should be able to get it with credential, and you can see add. So secret text and the variable, see secret variable, and what will be the variable name? This is sec_var. Okay, or like see whatever name you want to give it actually. Okay, and click on the generate pipeline script, and it generated this pipeline script. See the credential ID that we had generated there automatically, that variable as a sec_var. So copy that, and just before the npm install we are adding it. It itself is a block. Okay, that's why if something you want to do, you have to do inside the block. So for now we are just simply doing echo then this variable name. Okay, and let's save it and build now. You can see after, as soon as you click it, within few seconds the build started, doing build number 26. And if we just wait for it to happen, okay, done. Click on the build id and click on the console output. Now come to the place where you have staging that we did last time, and see while we tried to echo the sec_var, is saying masking supported pattern matches, so it's not allowing to see you in the logs. That's why it's very important to understand how to utilize the secret. So the good so here the best case I would say using some database password if you want to do some migration, or may you want to do some logging into another server. For those you might need to do some credential, or might be AWS credential, that security key and the secret that string. So you can utilize those kind of things using this. Okay, secret variables. Okay, I think we have covered a lot of things. Now I think I will be touching the final parts. So the build part. Okay, so I have shown till now how to utilize the pipeline script. Now instead of script we will be using the Jenkins file. Okay, to do that, let's copy this one and you can see pipeline script from SCM. Let's save this here. Okay, and we'll are saving as Jenkins file. And let's, I think they see what's asking for is asking for repository URL. So let's give it git remote v, and it's give us the remote URL. Copy that, paste it here, and looking for it, don't need the credentials, and it's master branch repository was automatically, and skip path is Jenkins file. Now if the Jenkins file is inside another folder or some other subdirectory, you must give the exact path here, otherwise it will not work. Now let's save it, and let's click on the build now to see the build working or not. See, as soon as you click on the build now, it started the build. Let's see, and yes, the build is done. Come here, yes, you can see. Now click on the console output. Let's see, and you will see all the commands that we have configured. It's showing here. Let's say let's try to make a change and see that working or not here. So let's go back to the project. The last build number is 29. Let's make a change here and say cat. You're doing some cat indexes, right? So here we'll use version 7. Okay, and let's save it. Version 7 changes. Okay, and let's push the changes in the remote repo. Okay, let's commit, and you will see automatically the build will start because our webhook is configured. You can see build is in progress. And done. Click on the build number and click on the console output. You will see it's working all fine. And if you see the cat we're doing, it's saying version 7. So everything working fine. It's a complete CI/CD with pipeline we have covered, and it's awesome, right? So I've shown you how to add a freestyle project, how to add pipelines, how to add environment variables, how to do the automatic kit pulling configuration in the hooks. So this is the most important topics. In the next session, I'll be covering how to add additional worker nodes, like having this is a master nodes. So you'll have other worker nodes where you will be running your all the build loads there, not in the master nodes. That kind of configuration, as well as how using EC2 plugin you can control the automation, the automatically creating of the new agents and everything. Okay, so I'll be covering that in the next session. Thank you for staying in this long. If you like this session, do like the video, share with others, and give a comment about what do you think about the session. It will help me improving the sessions. Okay, and yes, don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you very much. Bye.